Okay, to target the price level, you just have to target the price level. Okay? A lot of economists, they want to like use unemployment or interest rates or maybe even, let's say, balance of trade to try and manage inflation. Now, all of that is stupid and silly because you can directly target prices. You don't have to go indirectly through any other mechanism. And only MMT, this is like one of the core ideas of MMT, that you use price discipline to control inflation. And the there's two arms or two branches whereby you can do this. One is obviously the fiscal side and the monetary side. So on the fiscal side, when the government spends money, they offer contracts. People bid on contracts to deliver services to government, like military contractors, people building roads, construction, all this stuff. So long as you don't overpay these people, you're very unlikely to get inflation. Now, regardless of the total amount of money spent. This is something Mosler has said repeatedly, and there's a video of Warren Mosler and Bill Mitchell discussing this point about how you will bid up prices if you are overspending. But anyway, so the sheer insanity of trying to control prices through indirect means when you have a direct means to affect the price level is insane. So that's the fiscal side where you bid on contracts, and the other side is obviously the monetary side where banks lend out money. But the central bank coordinates all of that and they issue the money. So whereas we used to have a gold or a currency backed by one thing, gold, right now we have a currency backed by anything. Like the central bank could still choose to back our currency with gold by buying and selling gold. So central banks just have a balance sheet, which is like a diversified portfolio, like any sane person would use to manage their wealth. So the gold standard is as stupid as if you were trying to only save your wealth in the form of gold. Okay, it's fucking ridiculous. So you want, just like an individual wants a diversified portfolio, you want to back a currency with a diversified portfolio, and that is the central bank's balance sheet. Okay, so we can back our currency with anything. So central banks facilitate the banking system by buying up a lot of mortgages and other assets. They could buy state and municipal bonds. They can buy all these things. But the way you have price discipline on the monetary side is making sure those assets that you're buying aren't overpriced. So when a bank makes a loan for a house and they package up all those mortgages, you go through each one and check that it's not overpriced. Now, the issue is that takes a lot of work to do. You have to go through and verify. Like any investor would know, you have to go through all your investments and make sure they have value, okay? Now, it's the same with managing inflation, okay? There's really no difference when you're managing inflation from the monetary side. You issue money for things that have value, and if you end up overpaying for it, then you'll get inflation, okay? So there's no huge mystery behind inflation and the price level in general. I mean, there's short-term dynamics that can cause fluctuations within the marketplace, but the thing that ultimately prices a currency is the person who issues that currency, okay? That's all MMT is saying. You don't have to look at all these third-party shit that's going on. All this third-party shit that's going on. So you just, to target the price level, you just target the price level. You don't need any other intermediate thing going on. And most of the time, when you do get episodes of hyperinflation, you get a little inflation and then it's aggravated by the policy response because the political authority, their target, that usually happens when they don't target inflation. Okay, they're like trying, like in the case of the Weimar Republic, they're trying to pay off their debt. So, and their reparations, um, fucking ridiculous. And I don't know, Zimbabwe, there was some shit going on there, but even in the 1970s, after, like, the way I see it, after going off the gold standard, there was a little bit of a learning curve for us to get it right, but Volcker, um, Volcker, however you say his name, um, raising interest rates does not have a reliable effect on inflation one way or the other. It does not restrict the money supply. Okay? I mean, yeah. So, let's just be honest here and stop with this BS.